What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Beanball Podcast. This is episode 90. We are your hosts, Alan and Alan. What's going on, man?
What's up, man? You know, football season started.
Football, man. the drama of football, fantasy football, the crap talking, man. It's full swing now.
But you know what? When football season starts, that just means baseball is coming to a close, and we're getting closer to that playoff picture.
Man, I know, like, between watching and then you're talking about World Series, less than a month, like, almost a month away. Once you get to the end of this month, it's like, man, here we go. Like I said, that wild card weekend is going to be insane. I can't wait, but these games are just getting dicey.
They are. It's getting down to it, man. I mean, this is like, it's time to show up or go home, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, speaking of teams that need to show up, if you guys haven't known, you know, there's a really good player on the Yankees, Aaron Judge. We've been talking about him the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, because, you know, when he got to 50, it's like, okay, he's in striking in a little over a month.
Yeah.
Last week, it was the previous week was hot.
It was very
hot. This week, he cooled off a little bit. Only got one.
But it evens itself out. So all he has to do is just keep on trucking. I mean, we're getting close to it.
Yeah, we got a little less than 3 weeks now.
He's at number 55.
Yep, he's 6 away from the AL record. Well, tying the AL record, 7 to be his own.
How many games do they got left?
A little over 3 weeks, so I'm going to say around 20
games?
maybe now.
All right, I mean, that's not an easy feat.
Let's see. Yankees. They're at Boston for a 2-game series starting tonight. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
Okay, 21 games to hit 6 or more.
And then, so you're in Boston. Then you go and you're at Boston, at Milwaukee, hosting Pittsburgh, hosting Boston, at Toronto, hosting Baltimore, and then at Texans for a 4-game series to end the season.
I mean, that's tough, man. That means he has to hit home runs in 30% of the games left, basically. So, you know, that's a number we're going to keep our eye on.
Yeah,
you know.
and I kind of wonder if it's because he's cooled off this week because maybe people are pitching more around him.
I would.
Especially since the rest of the team has sucked.
Yes.
Where we can pitch around you and let your other guys try to make us do damage. I kind of think it's a big figure in why he's not getting those home runs this past week.
And I don't blame them. I mean, you don't want to go up there, especially as a starting pitcher. You don't want to go up there when a guy's hitting this hot, throwing him lollipops. No, you're going to throw him anything he can't hit, and if you walk him, that's okay. We'll get to the next guy.
Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on it. Of course, that's just one of the home run races we're paying attention to.
And it's sad.
The next one,
yeah, go ahead,
is a big one because last week he was 2 away Pujols. He tied the record, and now it is his own. He is now the 4th all-time on the home run list. Hit number 696 and 697 to now be alone 4th place on the home run king list.
Yeah, man. First thing I'm going to say is congrats to Albert Pujols.
Yes.
This is amazing. And you know what's funny is I was just going to say is what sucks for Judge is that this home run record is more exciting to me right now than Judge is getting 50, 60, whatever right now.
Yeah, like you think that the AL record, it's, you know, it's cool because you think about home run record, you think McGuire, Sosa, and then Bonds.
Yeah.
But you forgot they're all National League teams, so you didn't think that Roger Maris's record is technically still the AL number 1. But when you're talking number 4 of the home run list to now be his own, to tie A-Rod and then to pass A-Rod, to now you already stamped you as a future Hall of Famer, but this is just more full first-bound credit, and it's just like, can you be now 3 away from joining the exclusive 700 club, which only 3 members are in? Ruth, Bonds, and then Hank Aaron.
Yeah.
Can you add your name to that very short list?
Yes, and if anybody's deserving of it, it's definitely La Máquina, man, the machine, Pujols.
Yeah.
You know, and it's crazy because, like I said, every time we see the updates on him hitting another home run, I feel like he's away more and more when he's doing it, and the teams there are cheering really loudly when he hits a home run. So it's like everybody wants to see this record.
Yeah, because, you know, of course, it's going to be years till we see someone approach something like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're thinking about young guys like you're thinking about Soto, J-Rod, like these very young guys that have easily a 15, 20-year career ahead of them.
Right.
You're not thinking that right now.
No.
After 10 years, you can start looking at it. Mike Trout was like, could he possibly? But the injuries last couple of years have slowed down. Now you're like, we'll see if he gets up to it, then we'll start worrying about it.
And then all the big hitters, you always have questions too. Like when you're like, oh, well, Giancarlo might get there, but now he's always injured as well. I think Judge, but he could fall in that category. We don't know.
And Judge is so much older, I don't think he's going to get anywhere close to the 700 club.
And Pete Alonso. But I'm just saying, if you guys keep hitting 50 home runs a year, there's a good shot.
Yeah, especially if you average 50, 60. That's what Bonds and them did, where you got real quick because 2 years you're at 100.
Exactly.
So
right. So you're not too far away. Well, and it's cool, like I said. So when we talk about Pujols hitting these home runs, the most recent one he hit was 697, and he hit it in Pittsburgh.
Yes.
So when he hit it in Pittsburgh, it was pretty cool because one of the fans that caught it, they had a pretty cool story to go with it.
Yeah, like no one was hardly in the intersection. They all ran over. The one guy, it must have bounced and rolled to him because he was out of three, and he got up and then ran.
Yeah, he got it. He was super
so
excited.
You're figuring the one that puts you in fourth place, you want that ball. So of course, they got him to go meet him, and he heard about how the wife of the guy who got the ball, dad passed away a year ago, and he's like, you know what, this means going to be more to you, so keep it. And he signed 2 more balls for them.
Yeah, man, it's great.
I'm like, how do you not get that ball?
I know how.
Whew.
You know why? It's because he's so cocky. Exactly. He's like, I'm not done. Here, take 697. He's like, I don't want 697. That doesn't mean nothing to me. I'm going to hit 701. That's going to mean a lot to me. So, yeah, I think Pujols is like, there's a lot left in the tank.
So, yeah, I'm pretty sure, the 701 is the must for him. That's even somehow he can negotiate that, depending on who gets it and where it happens.
Where it happens, exactly.
Yeah.
That'll be a lot.
Because that one you're talking about, the exclusive club, that ball would go for a lot of money. Because think about it.
Yeah, dude.
The 700 club home run, there's only been, I can't remember what, I should have done research if that ball was ever sold with Barry Bonds hit, because that was more recent. Babe, of course, no one ever knew. And then Hank Aaron, I think no one really thought about memorabilia like that back then. But Bonds, when he broke Hank Aaron's record, I can't remember, it went for a couple million when he broke Hank's record. But that 700 ball is something special, and it could hit the market. But hopefully, if it's in St. Louis, the fan, the appreciation, they'll probably work where season tickets for years. Here, have this.
Something, man.
Yeah. But just to keep it and mean more to you, that ball is a very special ball in history.
It is a very special ball, but just think about it. If you're in the stands and you catch that ball, it's just as special because that's a one of a kind piece of baseball history.
It's cool to ever catch that home run ball, regardless. But now that's something historical in baseball history that this guy is now the 4th all-time leader with this home run.
I know, man.
And it's in my possession.
I'm just saying, yeah, it's gonna be a payday for whoever gets it.
Yeah, if they do put it to the open market to pay.
It reminds me of recently when the guy caught the Tom Brady ball and they gave it away basically to the fan.
Yeah, and he kind
of gave it back. Like, I would have like, bro, you could have negotiated so much harder. I mean, yeah, he got some Bitcoin out of it and some other signed stuff, but the person who catches this ball, I don't think they're making that mistake. People are out there to hunt for this one.
Yeah.
You already see these guys pushing little kids out of the way to get the balls.
I remember when Bonds was after that record, the mosh pit when that got into
had to be
the Giants. I remember because it was like they went to live. It was ESPN like, oh, we're cut to see if he does it. And I remember against the Nationals, I was dying because it was against the Nationals. Oh, Judge just hit number 56.
Look at that as we speak.
Game tired dinger in Boston.
All right.
So now
you're back on it.
So you're 6 away from beating the record, 5 to tie now.
All right, so that's doable.
That is doable. That's doable.
But we're still looking at like 20% of the games you got to hit home runs. But hey, you never know.
Yeah. So now we're talking. Now he's 5 away. But Pujols, that's something awesome. This is what makes baseball romantic. Stuff like this. And like I said, Pujols, I think his eyes is on the prize now at 700 because now you're 3 away. Roughly, with 3 weeks left, if you just average 1 a week, you got it.
And he looks like Pujols out there swinging the bat too, man. So he is feeling himself.
Yeah. So let's see. Next, we're gonna talk about Sunday baseball. Atlanta's in that tough race because they're fighting the Mets for the division. They're back and forth over the weekend and stuff. Well, they're against the playoff, determined to break the curse, Seattle Mariners to make the playoffs. Well, Atlanta scored 5 times in the top of the 9th to take the lead.
Mm-hmm.
Young J-Rod, we just talked a couple weeks ago how he got paid, was smiling, walking on the field, like new to his confidence. 2 batters later, it was his at bat. He hits a game-tying home run to win. Next guy hits a home run to win the game, and they celebrate. But when the commentators, after he hit the home run, showed that look where he was just confident coming out the field, like, I got this.
Nice.
That is swagger. To be that young guy to know that we got this.
To know you ain't worried, you can hit that
We're
ball.
not worried.
Yeah.
We can do this.
That's pretty cool, man.
I'm like, yo, this is special.
That is a special player to have on your team with that confidence.
Very special. And like I said, this is a guy who's confident. He bet on himself with that contract where if he hits certain things, he gets a bigger payday. This guy is special. Seattle, you have a special player that you're going to build around for years. And if he keeps this up, man. is a guy.
And like I said, so the guy's that good, signed this big contract with the incentives. Seattle's got to put people around him. They're not going to give him this contract if they don't plan on building. So Seattle's going to be pretty good in the future.
And you can be confident, of course, going against the defending World Series champions, the ones that are in a playoff race too, and you're doing this like you're more confident going into the playoffs doing stuff like this.
All right. Well, speaking of playoff spots, we already have a team who has clinched a playoff spot.
No shocker here who it was.
No shocker at all.
No.
Obviously, you guys know the Dodgers are one of the best teams, if not the best team in baseball, and they have already clinched a playoff spot. We're not surprised.
No.
But what does that mean for them? Does that mean it's easy coasting to the playoffs? Or
So now you're thinking about it. Their number for the division is going to be low because, Padres fell off. So their record's not that great. So they got to be clinching within the next week. Let's see. Does it not have... It does not. Okay, I'm gonna say within the next game or two. Yeah, because
that quickly.
Padres are 20.5 out of. So you're talking one game, a loss and a win will clinch the division for the Dodgers.
Right.
So by the time we talk about this next week, we'll be talking about the first division clinch, which will be the Dodgers. That's locked.
Right.
So once you do that, you're gonna start figuring out who's gonna be on your roster. Probably after that, you're coasting because you almost pretty much locked up a bye as well at 97 wins already.
Right. I mean, you're not pressured. The guys are going to play easy baseball. You're going to get some guys some more reps that aren't normally getting them. I mean, I'm not going to say they're going to take a cruise mode for sure, but they're definitely going to take a little easier, I think. They're not going to be going like, oh, we got to win this game to get in kind of situation.
Roughly, I would think 5 more wins would clinch a bye.
Oh, okay.
So once you get to that spot,
right.
You're in cruise
You're
mode.
in maintenance. Yeah, your guys aren't going to go deep innings. You're going to be like, all right, we're going to get you guys 5 innings, and we're going to let the bullpen get some work.
Yeah,
it's going to be like that.
You're going to rotate.
That way you go to the playoffs healthy.
Yes. So and then I think was this the 10th straight time they made the postseason.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm not surprised, man. Their team has
that's
been
what you
solid.
talk about.
Yes.
And that's what I said. They need one more World Series victory to be that team.
To be that.
Because
that
one ring
franchise,
is good, but
to
you
be
need
the dynasty.
2.
Yeah.
That's what kind of love you need. You need multiple rings with this team, and they're heading that direction, of course, as the heavy World Series favorite before the season, currently, and now 3 wins away from 100 wins for the season.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to remember this team as one of the best in the era, but like you said, in order to put them forever enshrined, like, oh yeah, these guys were tough, is when they got to get in the ring.
Multiple World Series rings.
Yes.
Next, this might be it for La Russa, man. Like, he already retired and came back, but he's been away with the team for a couple weeks now. Medical issues. Apparently, he got a pacemaker put in. This could be it. This could be the last season. They are actually trending in the right direction, but it might be a little too late for the White Sox. Remember, I think they were only 2 out of the wild or the division. They're not far of the division, but wild card they're still a little back. But I think it's time. La Russa, it's getting hard. And same thing with Terry Francona too. It's like you're now thinking about retirement, and I think La Russa, I think this could be it finally.
And it should be. I mean, look, this guy's been in the game forever. I get it. He's a vet, but if you can't keep up with the day to day, it's kind of hard to do it because he's already 77 years old.
And if you have medical issues on the road half the season and stuff like that, that can't do well for.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I mean, the man's been in the Hall of Fame since 2014. I just don't know how much more he has to give to the game. I feel like he'd be more suited for an office job or something like an advisor.
Which he was there for a while. He was an advisor for, what was it, Diamondbacks. Then he went into MLB corporate office for a while.
Think about it, man. As a 77-year-old on the road all day long for 162 games, out there in the heat, standing up, yelling at umpires. Nah, man, it's just sometimes you gotta
dugout, it's time.
It's time to hang him up. That's all.
I'm glad you tried. You thought his team was very close,
and we thought they were too. Don't get us wrong. We thought the White Sox looked great last couple of years, but it just doesn't seem like it's their time right now.
No.
Unfortunately, you're up against some dynasty powerhouses, some really really stacked teams. I mean, I can think of 3, 4 off the top. So it's just a tough time to be in a game, especially like I said, if you just. It's just pretty hard. It's a hard, grueling season, man. You got to have the stamina.
It is very hard. Like when I saw this, I'm like, man, it sucks you got to go out this way, but it's time.
Nah, it's a good run.
It's a good run. You tried to get one more ring, but you have plenty. Like I said, you're already a Hall of Famer, so I don't know what else there's left for you to prove. But if it is it, thank you, La Russa. Good try, but time to move on, and we'll see if White Sox go to next. Like, I don't know. Like, there'll be a lot of decisions this offseason.
There's plenty of options out there for them.
They go someone younger, a little more veteran. We'll see what they do. But
well, speaking of the future, if you guys haven't heard, the MLB has agreed on some rule changes.
Yeah, we all knew this was coming. You know, they test out minor leagues over the years. When the new collective bargaining agreement, they, you know, starting next year, they could add and change some things and so on, so on. Well, there's 3 rule changes that MLB wanted to implement. It got voted on. It's been approved. So we're going to go straight over them. The first one is the big one, which has been going on for years in the minor league system. We've seen a lot here in Norfolk with AAA, is the pitching clock, the pitch timer. So between pitches, there will be a 15-second timer when bases are empty, 20 seconds when runners on base. So if you think about this, through the minor league systems over the years, it has reduced the time of game almost by 30 minutes.
Almost by 30 minutes, like 28 minutes.
So you think about it. If you have a 7 o'clock start time, instead of going to 10 o'clock, you're talking 9:30.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
And you think about, like, World Series time. You start at 8, you're talking 10:30, not 11, which is more doable, especially people on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's more doable. I like this part.
I actually, I agree with you, Alan. I actually do like the pitch timer. I think this will speed the game up. Yeah.
Instead, like, you're sitting there shaking, like, no, you're just kind of sitting there waiting for the guy. Like, it makes you
and especially with the young kids today, they don't want to just sit there and wait. They don't want to like waiting for anything. They need to have some action now. So I get it.
I totally get it. I like it. I think it'd be a good change of base. We'll see how big of a difference it makes for Major League games after the year next year, but it's a good start.
So the next one that they agreed on was the defensive shift limits. So we knew they were throwing the idea around there of no more shifts or this or that, banning them.
Yeah, they started playing with this last season in minor leagues.
So now they're going to go with a limit. So you can't shift every single time now. I think you have to keep two fielders on each side, right?
So the 4 infielders must be within the outer boundary of the infield when the pitcher is on the rubber.
Yeah.
Infielders may not switch sides. In other words, a team cannot reposition their best defender on the side of the infielder with batter. So pretty much second's got to be on that side, shortstop's so not like
that's fine.
I'm like, okay. And if infielders are not alleged property at the time of the pitch, the offense can choose an automatic ball or the result of the play.
Okay.
And the rule does not include a team from positioning an outfield in the infield or in the shadow outfield situation, but it does prohibit 4 outfielder alignments.
I like that. It's not bad, man. I don't know how it's going to go. I would like to see. I don't think I've seen too much of this, actually.
Yeah, so I think more so when they're minor leagues, I like the one where it said, like, they all have to be on the dirt, which pretty much what this is saying. You can't have an infielder on the grass. So where you still have your 3 outfielders, and you sometimes would put someone shallow infield. So if someone's shallow infield, they have to play in. So if it hits over the head, that's kind of screwed.
Exactly. And that's why I like that idea, because if you're going to sacrifice – you're going to take a gamble, because if you want to shift the way you want to shift, then you got to bring an outfielder in some, and then they could easily hit it over their head. Yeah, I like that idea, but obviously you can make it work, because if you shift over the left fielder because you don't think the lefty is going to hit it that way, blah blah blah, and that still makes them have to hit the ball.
Yeah. So some people are like, oh, they need to hit better, learn how to drive the ball, but sometimes it's slightly unadvantaged when the athlete, the computer guys figure out exactly where you need to be positioned, but. So this should create some more hits, hopefully a little more offense to kind of give the game a little more energy.
Make it so it's not just home runs every game.
Not home runs.
I don't know if this is going to make too big of a difference yet. We will see, obviously.
I would think, if anything, maybe 2 hits a game on average.
Yeah, maybe a couple. And even if that's the case, that's more exciting. It creates more action, more opportunity.
Yeah.
So I'm not against it yet. I still need more time to see what it does.
I think the biggest one, which I saw a couple players putting couch cushions where the base and stuff was. It's like, is this big enough? But the base is going to be slightly larger. It goes
slightly.
So 15 inches is the current base is going to go up to 18 inches.
Okay.
Home plate will be unchanged. We're just talking about first, second, and third base.
And I get it. It's a safety thing.
Yeah.
The bigger the base, the more safely the guys can play with it. So I think that's an okay. I like that.
I think the biggest thing was when I think it was last season or the season before when Bryce Harper stretched and then missed the bag and tweaked his ankles and he was out for a couple weeks.
Yeah,
like that.
And not only that, I mean, you think about when they're turning 2.
And then material, I think the base changed a little bit too, so that way it's not as slippery.
Okay, that's good. But I also, like I said, when you're turning 2, like you got the second base and shortstop guy, if they're just touching the edge of the bag, it's less likely for you to break their ankle because it's a little bit bigger. So I kind of like this idea.
The purists are probably not happy. The players,
And
most of the players
and,
are not happy.
anytime you make change, people are afraid of change. Nobody likes change, so I understand where they're coming from. They don't want to see anything change ever. But the game's evolving, and so are the rules.
Yeah.
The only one that I think is a big one to look out for is the shift. I mean, I think the pitch timer is absolutely okay, and it should be there. You shouldn't be there all day just holding up the line.
And then
the bases, it's a safety thing.
It's probably going to add a couple steals in the season. Nothing like
not
big
too
major.
dramatic though.
It's going to be some closer plays, maybe, but we have replay now, so it's not that big of a deal.
Yep.
But yeah, defensive shift is where the last couple of years have taken some excitement out of the game.
For sure.
We'll add some excitement. So I like it. We'll see what it does, but it's not a big thing, but it's going to be different.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to tell as fans, like, oh, the base is that much bigger. It's just going to be, okay, it's the base.
All
the
right.
shift is going to be like, okay, we're not seeing these, taking our time to, and also it sometimes takes time out of the game of the shifts, moving players around and waiting for them to get settled before we throw the pitch, because now you only got 20 seconds to move. So we'll see. But all right, so that is it for the 3 big rules. Now we can talk about someone who is unfortunately red hot at the wrong time, but not getting much love.
Yeah, I mean, so if you guys don't know, Mike Trout has hit home runs in 7 straight games.
Yeah, going into tonight, he's still, I'm pretty sure, I'm about to check real quick. I don't think he still has hit one yet.
7 straight games. Just think of how hot that is. I mean, the Angels now have...
Oh, it just went final, so the streak is ends
That's
at
okay.
7.
So Mike Trout's streak ended at 7 straight games with a home run. That's unreal. The Angels have 2 of the top 3 American League leaders in home runs, and their team is not doing well at all. That says a lot.
Yeah.
But why isn't Mike Trout getting any love right now?
Is it like, the race to home runs is probably taking a lot of time up, that their team is not in the playoff race.
Right.
So I think it's a good chunk with it. Because, yeah, if you go to American League, Judge is sitting there at 56 now.
Yep.
Trout's at 35, and Ohtani's at 34.
Unreal. You got 2 of the top 3 guys leading, and you guys aren't even close to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And you guys were killing it before the All-Star break.
It's unfortunate. It really is. Like,
it just makes us as baseball fans sad. Like, I know, like you said, the purists are sad about these rule changes. I'm sad because I don't get to see Mike Trout play in October.
Yeah, and this could be the last season in the Angels uniform because, with the sale, him and the new owner might not click. He might want out. Ohtani might not want to resign because they can't afford, so they might have to end up trading him. So this could be it for this run.
I think Ohtani's decision has to go hand in hand with what Ohtani's doing.
Yes.
If Ohtani's staying, Trout has a decision like, maybe I stay. If Ohtani leaves, Trout cannot stay.
No,
he
because
cannot
you're
stay.
talking full rebuild.
Yeah,
rebuild mode.
and you're not ready for that.
Unless someone, which I can't think of anyone since the Padres gave up the young farm to the Nationals. Only team that has like a bunch of almost ready prospects is the Dodgers, but they're going to lose people because they win another ring. People are going to get paid because now they got a ring or 2, and so they bring those guys up. But I don't. It's going to be because you think about it, like it's just only 1 year left of Ohtani control.
Right.
Then you have to pay the guy. So what kind of prospect haul you can get that, especially in the offseason? Some people might overpay.
I would overpay.
Especially if he wins MVP this year.
Which he should.
I think he will. But, yeah, like I don't know what's Mike Trout going to do. We've talked about this a couple weeks ago, maybe about a month ago or so. But
look, man, if I had to guess, I'd say he's going to pack up his bag and he's going to go across the street and then get in the Dodger blue.
Don't say that. We don't need that.
We
Baseball
don't need it.
Need that.
They don't need it, but he's going to take his talents to across the street.
Take my talents to South Beach. No, but, God, I don't know, man.
Alan, the guy has been deprived of winning baseball, and now he's got an injury he's got to keep an eye out on. He's got to go to a team that's going to win now. And what better place than a dynasty that's got a proven track record the last 4 or 5 years, no doubt.
Or somehow he goes home.
Where's his home?
Philly.
Okay. I can see Philly.
Because I really thought him and Harper were going to get together, but he never hit free agency.
I can see Philly.
Because I thought the owner was going to try to do it.
But in my heart, I'm seeing him in L.A., just in a different color.
Ugh.
I don't know, man.
Mm.
But I am seeing Ohtani also in blue, just orange and blue.
That would be that's going to cause a haul. But, man. But, Trout doing Trout things. It's just unfortunately other stuff's going on in baseball. They're playing on the West Coast. They're not getting the love.
Believe me.
They're not winning a lot of games. So
Trout is out there showing you why he is the face of baseball. He's like, hey guys, I'm still here. I know all these young guys are getting these big contracts and Judge is hitting these home runs, but I'm still Mike Trout, and he is. It's just unfortunate that you play for a team that can't produce any results.
Yeah, like when your best pitcher is also your DH.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, it's like Cologne out there. What's going on?
It's hard, and then
it is, man.
I don't know, like it's rough. I'm pretty sure it's rough as a Angels fan to see this every year. So, but let's see what else we can talk about real quickly. Oh, how do you feel about the Gold Glove is going to be given out as a utility player too now?
A utility player,
Yep.
I like it because they should. And when I think of utility players, I think of like guys like Michael Kadire or somebody who can play every single position. I'm like, these guys are not just. And they don't get a lot of reps because, I'm not just a third baseman. Anywhere you need me, coach,
Yeah.
I am there. So I like that idea.
Yep. So Rawlings announced they will award Gold Gloves to a utility player in both the AL and NL starting this year.
All right. Well, there's not too many of those guys, but no, that's a good thing. Another thing I saw was one of our old boys just signed a 2-year extension. I think it was
Flores.
Flores, yeah, Wilmer Flores. Congrats, dude. Good stuff, man.
Let's see. MLBPA and MLB finalized a card check, so minor league players will get the authorization cards to set up CBA negotiations with the minor league players.
Nice.
We knew this was coming. We were almost certain that most minor league players would agree to this because, the average minor league player, especially when you start out, you're talking about less than $15,000.
Yeah.
That is not a living wage.
Nope. Just a dream.
Yes, you might get signing bonus, but then after that, you all make the same, and then you work your way up from there. It's got to be better. You got to do better. If you want someone to commit to you as a professional, and they got to get an off-season job because they can't afford their bills because they might have a wife, kids, etc. Who knows what else? Don't matter if you sign a $10 million signing bonus and you might get a couple thousand.
Mm-hmm.
Needs to do better. Let's see. Reportedly, the LA Times owner is eyeing the Angels.
Oh,
as the possible
I heard
owner.
that. I heard that.
So we'll see. Keep an eye on that. But I can't think of anything else. So now with of course there's managers on the hot seat that's starting to warm up since we're nearing the end of the season. But yeah, so with Judge hitting that home run tonight as we were on air, he's on pace for 64.
Nice.
So we'll see if he can keep it up to get to that number. As long as he gets to 62, I think it'll be a nice part of history. But like I said, we're more focused on Pujols getting those 3 more to get to that number 700.
Absolutely. Yep. That's what I'm excited about.
And, of course, as our Mets play with our emotions down the stretch of baseball.
Never fails, man. Never fails. I always want to make us sweat.
It's just, we know we're going to clinch a playoff spot. I think it's less than, 6 games now to clinch a playoff spot.
But the hard part is that we're losing to these teams that are not good.
Yeah. They're like tonight, Cubs play small ball against DeGrom to get some runs to knock him out of the game. It's unfortunate, but...
Well, hopefully they get back on track. Because it doesn't matter. As long as you can sneak into postseason, you just need to get hot at the right time.
I was almost certain. And then, with Max out,
Yeah.
sorry, Marte out, it's a bad time, but hopefully they'll be back for playoff push. We still somehow get the division and get a bye so everyone's healthy over the weekend and start fresh in the division series. But
we really want the division.
like I said, in the next couple of days, Dodgers will most likely clinch the division, be the first division to clinch since they're already the first playoff spot. More teams will start locking up playoff positions. And we'll start more into playoff baseball starting next week because we'll be 2 weeks out, really start figuring it out, and then we'll go from there.
All right.
All right, guys, y'all have a good one. Check out our social medias, share with a friend. We'll catch y'all next time. Peace.